You walk into any supplement store, and it's just chaos, right? I mean, 1,000 bottles, all screaming at you, promising to change your life. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're not just listing a bunch of pills. We're building a simple, science-backed strategy to figure out what actually works for you.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by creating a simple filter to cut through all the marketing hype. Then we'll move through a tiered system, starting with the proven heavy hitters all the way to the optional extras, so you have total clarity on where your money is best spent.
The supplement market really does feel like the Wild West, doesn't it? You've got flashy labels, you've got bold claims. Honestly, it's designed to be confusing. And that's exactly why the very first thing we need is a reliable framework to make smart, effective decisions. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? To answer it properly, we need a simple but really powerful filter that we can apply to any supplement out there, whether it's the most popular protein powder or some obscure herb you just heard about. All right, here it is, our three-part hype detector. For every single supplement, we're just going to ask 3 simple questions. 1, is it safe? 2, does the science actually say it works? And 3, is the benefit you get worth the money you're spending? If it doesn't get a yes on all 3, we just ignore it. Simple. This lets us focus on the foundational 95%, your training and nutrition, and only spend money on the tiny 5% that might give you a real edge.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff. Tier 1. If you only have the budget for a few things, these are it. These are the non-negotiables, the supplements with the absolute strongest science and the biggest impact on your performance in the gym.
You know, our starting lineup is incredibly lean, but man, is it powerful. We've got just 3 things here. First, a tool for pure convenience, protein powder. Second, the undisputed king of strength and power, creatine monohydrate. And third, a proven, reliable tool for performance, caffeine. Let's break them down.
First up is protein powder. And let's be totally clear about this. It is not magic. It's just a practical, efficient, and pretty cost-effective way to make sure you're hitting your daily protein goal, which, as you know, is the most important macronutrient for building and keeping muscle, especially when life gets crazy.
Next up, creatine. And the dose could not be simpler, just 5 grams a day. That's it. So how did such a tiny amount pack such a powerful punch in the gym? Well, it all comes down to your body's most basic energy system.
So here's how it works, in plain English. Creatine basically supercharges your muscle's immediate fuel source. It helps you quickly regenerate energy for those explosive movements. Now, what that actually feels like in the gym is getting 1, maybe 2 extra reps on your hardest sets. And that, my friends, is what drives progress over the long haul.
And finally, caffeine. The real key here is to use it strategically, not just out of habit. For general alertness, or to give your cardio a little boost, a small dose of about 1 to 2 milligrams per kilo of your body weight is perfect. But to go for a new personal record on a heavy lift, that's when you bring out the big guns, a larger dose, 3 to 6 milligrams per kilo, used only when you really need it to perform.
Okay, on to Tier 2. Now, I want you to think of these supplements not as direct performance boosters, but more like a really smart insurance policy. They're here to protect you against any potential nutritional gaps in your day-to-day diet.
In this tier, we just have 2 staples, a basic multivitamin and fish oil. Because let's be honest, trying to get a huge variety of micronutrient-rich foods in every single day, well, it can be a challenge. That's where these come in handy.
I mean, let's just be realistic for a second. A perfect diet that covers every single micronutrient base, day in and day out, is really tough to maintain. And this is especially true when you're in a calorie deficit trying to get lean. Tier 2 supplements just act as a smart, low-cost backup for your actual real-world eating habits. And for fish oil, here's the pro tip. Look at the label for 2 specific things, EPA and DHA. You want to aim for a combined total of about 2 grams of those 2 omega-3s every day. That's the sweet spot for getting the health benefits that support your training and recovery.
All right, let's move into our advanced tiers. And I have to stress this, these are for the person who already has their training, their nutrition, and their Tier 1 and 2 supplements completely locked in. We are now firmly in that final 5% we talked about. This is the polish. This is not the foundation.
Okay, Tier 3. Here you're going to find things like L-citrulline, which might give you a better pump in the gym, or ashwagandha, which could help with stress support. The key thing you got to know about these is that while they might offer a small edge, the science is a lot less certain and the effects are way more subtle than our Tier 1 heavy hitters.
And finally, in a tier all by itself, is yohimbine HCl. Now this one has a very specific use case, targeting that stubborn body fat in advanced trainees who are already quite lean. However, and this is a big however, it comes with a much higher risk of side effects like anxiety and an increased heart rate, so it's something you have to approach with extreme caution and do your research on.
So, we've gone through all the tiers. How in the world do we put all this information into a practical, actionable plan? Let's build your personal supplement strategy right now, from the ground up.
Here's your game plan, and I want you to picture it like a pyramid. The base, the biggest, most important part, is always going to be your training, nutrition, and sleep. That's non-negotiable. Once that is absolutely solid, you can add Tier 1 for a proven boost. After that, Tier 2 acts as your safety net. And only then, at the very tiny peak of the pyramid, should you even think about exploring Tiers 3 and 4.
And this right here, this is probably the most crucial point of this entire explainer. Your effort in the gym and your consistency in the kitchen will always be the main driver of your results. Supplements are just that. They're supplemental. They are the finishing touch, not the foundation of the house.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to really think about. This whole framework is designed to save you time, money, and mental energy. The goal is so you can stop chasing magic pills and focus on the hard work that actually builds the physique you want.